telling myself I'm gonna be an NFL player to now I'm gonna go and live a separate life, and I'm just no longer. I love football. I watch it, but I no longer want to play. I don't have that feeling anymore for the game. When did you decide to quit? In other words, is that a good question?
To be honest with you, I love the game so much that it took me about 5 years to slowly do that.
You can sing it on a Saturday. Take you for a ride. Take you for a ride round town. A ride round town.
Vibe, honestly. You got a little vibe in this,
Take you for a ride.
I think we got a hell of a show already. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they gonna love it.
No.
Pause. They gonna love it.
I don't know if we need to pause on that. Just let them have it.
Let them have it. I see what. Let them have it. It's crazy.
Welcome to the show, James. Thank you for coming on. It's been some work. I think this is the third time we sit down to try to do this. It shows you how much work there is in podcasting.
Definitely.
But I'll say it's with everything, honestly. Everything is a lot of work. And what I hope to do with this show is have a show. You know, I don't really have a particular niche or subject that I told you before. I want to sit down with good people and bad people like yourself. And
this fucking guy. I knew that was what happened.
He said all this nice stuff he said. He's gonna screw me when we're on camera.
I was waiting for something to come through. Pause.
No, good people. You are good people. No, sit down with people, chop it up, talk about life. I enjoy making film and content. You know, I was pushed. I loved it. It's not like it, but I was pushed to play football. I had people that influenced me to do it. I watched them play, and I said, "Wow, they were a great game." I was encouraged to get into wealth management, which is what I do now. And I was never pushed towards film. I had nobody that in my family that did it. And since I was a kid, I always enjoyed film. I enjoyed trying to make a movie or trying to make a scene. For whatever reason, I think it's a hell of a medium to try to tell a story. And it's awesome to see that with you as well. Obviously, you got your own story and your upbringing and different things you do. We all got to do different things to survive, and we're multifaceted. But certainly, I see with you as well. You find this thing interesting.
Yeah.
Even though it just took literally 4 hours to set up cameras and mics, for whatever reason, we find it interesting to try to figure it out.
You gotta check the rollie. It'll tell you how much time is on there.
You know, the rollie, man.
I fucking hate rich people.
Me too. God damn it.
Nah.
All my life I tried to get a rollie. I finally got a rollie.
Nah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. But James, thank you for coming on.
No doubt.
And you can still say pause. You know, you say pause a lot. I don't want to take it away from you.
We just gotta watch our language. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
That's right. Not
on the platform.
Much.
That's all.
Yeah. But we're here chilling. Tell us, you know, what would you say is your story, your background? Yeah, you know, where you from and your upbringing and what led you to film, if you don't mind. I guess we'll start there.
Yeah. No, I grew up in Jersey. I was born in Atlanta. Adopted from birth. Came out to North Jersey and then was living in Toms River for a lot of my life. Shout out to Ocean County, Monmouth County, all that areas up there, Middlesex, Essex, all that. And then I got into music and acting as a young kid. I think what led me to film recently is more so that I just wanted to make my own films, and I got tired of waiting to be casted in a film or anything like that. So I just wanted to learn. I'm obsessive. I want to learn. If I'm a rapper, I want to learn how to mix the music, how to record it, how to make the beats for it. So I'm the same thing when it comes to movies. I can't just be satisfied with acting. I got to learn how to do the lighting and do the sound and do the editing, and basically it just came from a childhood love of film. You know what I mean? And
it brings me to something, honestly. The devil's in the details, and look at that, nothing is easy. Now we're out of if that ain't the most non-Albanian thing for an Albanian to not have enough damn Rocky.
That's that shit on the first episode?
What a disappointment. And now I'm going to do something.
That's the one from the first episode?
Yes, you see? That's what happens when you spend too much time editing and figuring out how to shoot.
Right.
You drink all your content.
Yeah.
You got no content for the shoot. So now I'm gonna do the most un-Albanian thing there is.
We got no content because we're drinking it. That's
look,
crazy.
I'm gonna do this is the most. Forgive me, God, because this is. I'm gonna take the guest cup and pour it back into mine, so we both have a drink to say cheers. But you know what? Look, there's rituals and there's rules, but in life, pause. You have to be flexible and able to adjust.
Pause worthy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pause worthy.
No, that's a fact. I was kind of just,
you know,
I was telling my girl today that, you know, we have to learn to adjust in any situation, even when we're on a set. Like, if we get on a set and we realize we don't have the lights that we need, we don't have microphones that we need, we don't have as many cameras, we have to make adjustments like a boxer makes adjustments. Thank you, sir.
It's one thing for you to have to adjust, but the fact that you put your woman through that pressure and make her adjust with you is not easy.
Yeah, because they don't adjust very well. Yeah, they're very unique creatures. I'll tell you that much.
I forgot her name for the 7th time.
Jarena.
Who I've hung out
you got to
with
say it like one of those
now.
announcers.
Jarena.
Number 23, Jarena Jordan. You got to say the last name twice. Jordan. You know what I mean?
No. You gotta respect the guest. We already gave him half a cup of Raki, so have a glass. You know what I'm gonna say? Honestly, this is exactly what I want the show to be.
Calm and cool, collective, and
Have a cigarette. We have a drink. We enjoy ourselves, and the people, they can like it, they can watch it, they can not. And you know what's gonna happen? Sometimes they're not going to like it. They're going to, not watch it at all. And they come back and watch it later.
Mm-hmm. Or they might comment negative things under but guess what? Still comments.
I would tell them to be very careful about that.
Yeah, I would too. The cat, funny thing, there was a cat I knew, he was a rapper, right? And he wasn't the best, you know what I mean? I ain't going to say his name on the platform, but he said to us one day, he said, yo, I'm gonna send you my stuff, you watch it or whatever. And then he's like, or don't watch it, but or like it or don't like it. But he didn't care because he knew he was still bringing attention to. You're gonna say something good, you're gonna say something bad. You're still saying something. You know what I mean?
If you want the chance to win, you gotta be willing to lose.
Right.
So. I think we got a hell of a show already. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they gonna love it.
No.
Pause. They're gonna love it.
I don't know if we need to pause on that. Just let them have it.
Let them have it. I see what. Let them have it. It's crazy.
And
nasty, nefarious word.
Jarena Jordan. Yeah. Jarena Jordan. She is part of the show. Whether she wants to get on camera or not, that's up to her, man. I'm just kidding. It's up to Jarena.
Yeah. She good. She like the camera more than we do. Trust me.
Oh shit, yeah, man. Yeah. Here we were. We thought we liked the camera. These women like the camera more than we do.
Mm-hmm. They damn sure do. We've been watching them since the '90s.
The woman or the camera?
Yeah.
Jarena, you know what? Even in Albanian culture, every once in a while, we did honestly let the woman speak.
Mm-hmm. No, she'll speak if you want to.
Add a little flavor, I'm playing.
Maybe she could be another guest.
I think she's already a guest. She might be. I was gonna say something, but now I gotta say it. It's you. They're not. Nobody's gonna watch the full version.
Nah.
But Jarena might be the host from the back that you can't see.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That's not going to make Instagram real version.
That might be the best part. I want to watch this show. I want to see the host from the back.
The host from the back.
You got the people that don't look at it, they look it up. I want to see the host from the back. She's a good host, though. Good hostess.
They got to watch the full YouTube version for that one. Oh, man. So you went to high school at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, well, I did go to high school south for about September to January, and the rest of the time I was in the Wilson School for Boys in Jamesburg, which is like, for people that's from like New York, it's like Spofford. It's like a juvenile prison, basically.
Okay, so you got in some trouble in high school?
Yeah, I got in some trouble around 14 years old.
Was that when you were a sophomore, maybe?
No, I was actually, this was right before 9/11, so I was freshman.
Freshman.
And it was something I didn't do. I know a lot of people, everybody in jail is innocent, but it was for something I didn't do, and I actually got convicted for it, or adjudicated, as they say, for juveniles. And after that, I wound up getting 3 years for that. And so I only spent 9th grade from September to January in high school, and then from there on, I did, I think, 11th grade, and then I dropped out and got my GED.
Interesting. So you had to go to juvenile facility from January to September, you're saying?
No, I was in high school from September to January of freshman year, with a house arrest anklet on and everything. So I only went from the beginning of the year, so in September, and then January I went back to jail, and I was in high school in jail. I came home at 11th grade.
Wow, so you did, you did your high school in jail?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, where was the jail?
Jamesburg in Monroe Township in Jersey. Anybody knows, like, from Jersey knows what Jamesburg is. It's
and Monroe is actually, it's like
Middlesex County.
20 minutes west of Jersey Shore, we think of it, like, give or take, 30 minutes west of Belmar, northwest.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's over there. It's Middlesex County, like Woodbridge and all that over there. I reside in Woodbridge now too, so so. But it's a really really old kind of college campus kind of thing. Got shacks, like cottages and stuff.
And you
sleeping bunks and stuff. Real dangerous place. Yeah.
And you're there full time.
I was there about almost 2 years.
Now, do they have classroom for you? Teachers cut that?
Yeah, you go to school. They have schools on the grounds, everything. You go to work and everything. Yeah, it's like a big college campus kind of.
Now, do you mind sharing what you were convicted for? You don't have to.
Yeah. So
I'm honestly more curious about how that worked out. That you got convicted of something you didn't do, and if that ever came to be true, like if justice was ever served, like was it ever eradicated? But I mean, you did the time.
Who was caught for it, or
yeah. But you did the time. At the end of the day, it don't matter to you. You gave up. You already.
To be honest with you, I had 4 co-defendants. 2 of them took the stand. 2 of them basically were told, like, if you say that this person did it, and
you're good.
Yeah, you're good. So I know that those 2 weren't there and they were lying. But the other guy who they were blaming, I don't know. He possibly could have done it. It just happened to be. But no, there was nobody ever.
So you're saying one of the co-defendants that screwed you could have been actually guilty?
The two that testified, no. The one who pled not guilty and got the most time, the one who they were blamed, the one who was raised as an adult, they pushed him up to adult time.
Oh, because
he possibly could have did it, but he didn't tell anybody. No.
And they wanted to get him the most, so they said to everybody, if you help us get him, and you got caught up with that too.
And the crazy thing was my trial. They found me guilty as an accomplice to him before they even found him guilty. So how can you in court of law tell me I'm guilty of helping somebody you didn't even find guilty of doing what I was helping them with doing? You know what I'm saying? So court is a tricky thing, man.
Did you have at that time a lawyer,
yes.
Public defender?
Shout out to my parents. They spent $200 something an hour on my lawyer, and that was back in like 01, 02. So they spent they lost a lot of money helping me out.
And if you think about time difference, that is literally $2,000 today.
Yeah, $2,000 a day. Yeah,
they lost inflation was 25 years ago.
That's a fact.
That's fucking. So they
you know, they lost a lot of money. You know what I mean? Fucking with me on that, but and you know what's even the worst about it?
That's tough.
They lost all their money because it didn't get them the result that we needed. It wasn't the true result, and I wound up getting the maximum time. You know, it's like if you go to jail for murder and you're innocent, if you plead guilty, you might only get 10 years. Yeah, but if you take it to trial, they're gonna give you life.
Yeah, and you went to trial.
So and I got 3 years, but it's not, you know, I know I have friends that did, 14, 15, 20 years and come home like it's nothing, but still, when you don't do something, it's
when
bad.
You got out of there and you had served your time, you were technically going into your senior year, late junior?
Junior year. I got home July 1st, 2003.
July 1st, 2003.
Yeah.
So you were set up to be going into your senior year?
Junior.
Oh, you were about to go to your junior. Now, did you do that, or you just got your GED? You were kind of.
No, I went to junior year until about March. I went to basically they wanted to put me in an alternate school, like for people with behavior problems. So basically, it's like six, 7 kids in a classroom instead of the normal 10 or 20 or whatever.
Interesting. And so it's still not a high school; it's a different thing.
Yeah, it was It was called the J Building. It was originally the old Toms River High School, and they put us there, and then I would have a bus come pick me up, and I would go to vocational school for theater arts for the rest of the day. And about quarter way through the year,
Did you choose to go to theater arts?
Yeah,
That's what
and,
you're doing,
yeah, because when I was in Jamesburg, I was learning method acting from an acting coach from Patterson in there. Still know him to this day. Shout out
Now
to
that's
Mr.
something
Cole.
that they offered there, and you were like, "Yeah, I
It
want
was
to do it."
volunteer. Like they came and volunteered. Like they wanted
That's
to help
awesome
kids.
to help
Yeah.
kids, and you're
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Another guy from my county was in the same shack as me, and he was like,
"What
"Let's
made
go."
you want to do that? Did someone push you to, or you're like when you heard about the acting thing and the?"
Well, I was already into acting, but I got into music when I was in there. I had a music audio program, so I'm in there learning how to mix and record records and all
Yeah,
that. But then a friend of mine from my county was like, "Oh, I'm going to drama." I'm like, "Drama? I was doing that in school all the time." So he was like, "Yeah, we get to go." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And there's
yeah.
no COs, no cops, so we get to hang out by ourselves. We got like it's like the biggest part of freedom that you have in the jail. So I quit music audio and I went to that. But during that time, I learned how to do music audio, and then I was learning acting. So when I came home, I was had my own studio and everything. I was doing acting and both. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was learning in there, even while I was
So,
a bad.
and then did you go to that school when you came home? That 7 student classroom deal? You ended up
Yeah, I
doing
did
for
that.
2 years.
I started that 11th grade, but then I was only there from like, I'm gonna say 8 to like 9:30, and then at 9:30 a bus picked me up to take me to Voltech. So I was going to vocational school for theater arts.
Oh,
Jarena was in theater arts too. Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
did theater arts in high school?
College.
College, okay.
Yeah.
I have an associate's in theater.
Associates in theater.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she might have started a little late. I was doing that like as a kid. Like my mom sent me like summer camps and stuff. I had drama programs.
Were you able to work in that after? Were you able to find work in theater?
I mainly did because I performed as a dancer on stage, like actual dance, I'm not stripper. I just want to
Yeah, no, you good. Yeah.
And she could do makeup too. She's nice. She just don't like
I only touch people.
pause.
Pause.
She don't like touching people's faces. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She don't like being all in their face. You know what I mean? But she likes acting. So when I met her, I was like, yo, just do this. I get you some money doing. You know
How
what I
long
mean?
ago did you guys meet?
About a year ago.
Well, a year ago was one.
Nice. And you loved acting.
Yeah, everything about it.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a lot like
So,
me
you know,
because I was acting, but I,
I
got
think you're more an
obsessed
actor than a rapper. Rapping, I think, came to you, and you're good at it too. But you probably, from what I've heard so far, not that we have to quantify it, but you're probably more into acting and film than rapping. But I mean, they don't have to.
Yeah, I think it started as acting and music, but then once I learned both of them, then I started becoming more like a cinematographer, more light. It's like I become obsessive with things.
Yeah.
But I think I went back into acting because that was my first love. And music.
That's how it
but
goes. And then
now I don't like music
yeah.
as much as I like acting. But now I'm filming and editing and doing more than I am acting.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling her, like, you know, I can get you some money, you know, as a cinematographer. I can get you some money as a makeup artist, but I can't get you no money as an actor. Like, I can't guarantee you no money off that. Because I don't got people calling me for acting jobs every minute, you know?
Yeah.
But there's people that want beats, you know? So if you're a producer, you can
And
make
that's
money.
the reality is when you might want to be an actor, and you might figure out how. Honestly, the best route is to get into the space and find the job that people will give you.
Right.
And you got a lot of people. I've met people that make a very good living being cameramen or audio techs.
And then you can make your own.
And at least then you're in that circle.
Right.
So you could write a script, you could present it, but the thing in life, you find a way to get into the circle that you want to be in. Most people don't get to get in as an actor what they want to be in.
Right.
But you find a way to get in the circle, and it's better than nothing, so to speak, and it keeps you in the game. But
Everything I think we're doing right now with my company, with MJB Entertainment, is a bunch of, it is mostly actors that turned into filmmakers, because now everything's independent.
yes,
Rappers don't want to wait for, actors don't want to wait for an agent. Rappers don't want to wait for a label. They do everything independently. We have the outlets now where we could say, we can't get $1 million budget, but you know what? You can act, I can act, you could write, I could write. You're learning this, I'm learning that. We could shoot this movie ourselves. It might not be the best, but we could shoot it.
and it's very interesting because nowadays,
Well-
and AI is the 10x of that.
Yes.
Everybody can do everything, so to speak, on their own. Used to be that ABC, NBC, and CBS competed for viewership. Now everybody's on Instagram. Everybody has their own CBS. If you have something people want to watch, you could put it out there. But it's interesting you still have movies being made and profitably for $50-100 million, so to speak.
Right.
So, I think they'll both coexist. And honestly, this is something that's interesting to me because, yes, the medium has changed and people watch Instagram more than they watch TV now. But there is, and I'm hopeful of this too, because I do enjoy the art of a good film. I think there is still a market for a good film, and it's kind of interesting. No matter how much technology improves and it makes things easier, but to make a high quality film, a movie, you still need, like you said before, you need trailers to be there, to be watching.
You need a team.
You need a team. You need to shoot the same shot 20, 30 times. The sound, and I think that's what makes the art, pretty neat in itself. Is how much it takes to create. You're literally creating a world.
Yeah.
And
AI creates it, but there's mistakes.
But,
6 fingers instead of 5. The ear is missing, whatever case may be. But it loses the creation part of it. As a filmmaker, or imagine if I could just say, I could go into the studio and I could just rap a couple lines, and then I could just write my lyrics and have AI create my voice. It loses the creativity of how I deliver my vocals, everything, you know what I mean? The same thing when we make a movie, it might have a better look to it, it might be able to get us this background we're looking for, but we can't create the way that we're used to creating because it's creating for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at AI. I don't have a problem with it. I'd love to remove a background and put AI in it and make it so much easier for us to shoot. But when you do everything like, I just made a whole short film on AI, no actors, no nothing, you lose the creativity of what we do this for, you know what I mean?
Yes, and you lose the realness, because I think there is an innate human feeling that when you watch a film, you want it to feel real. You want it to feel like those people are feeling those emotions, they're living that, and that's something that has value. We'll see if it continues to have value. Yeah, who knows, the AI deal. What I thought would be neat is to have you show us one of your raps.
Oh, sure.
So give us a little background on it first, kind of when you made this, how old you were, and then let's hear it if you don't mind.
So I was with a label, Star Media Group, ran by my man Dre De Niro, and so we did this one joint here. It was called Ride Around Town. It was kind of as well, Ride Around Town. This is we did this 15 years ago, 2010. Looks like it has 47,000 views since then. Let's drop that one.
Is that you?
3 of us.
You got a little vibe in this,
Take you for a ride round town,
Oh.
Baby, you ain't gotta stress. I give you the best if you come deal with me.
That's the boy.
I know it's hard trying to get it off your chest. You just gotta keep it real.
This is the first song I ever wrote with no paper. Wrote it all in my head.
Wait, you never wrote it down?
And I never wrote since. Since then, I always write everything in my head. Yeah. No paper.
She like a gift. What more could I ask for me to give? Bubble water in the bath. I'm laughing like I'm rich. I'm
I was probably like
shorty is hot. She
24 there. That's all, baby.
Yo, that's solid.
I'm your doctor. I'm here to prescribe. Yeah, so tell your man that you're mine now. Come with me for a ride round town. Take you for a ride round
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie.
Take me to the city.
That's where we're going.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, man, that's
All day until
They disinfected us.
Can you take
Thank you for the ride.
My boy Jay Will from Long Island.
I'ma get you open, cruising in the drop top, feeling for your hot spot. I might find us a back street, get you in the backseat and jump all over you. You know you done got me loose, and I'm so into you. Just trying to find a quick getaway. Said, go baby, you can ride with me. If you're there with me, then I'll meet you.
He low-key has like a little bit of, I don't know, like an Akon sound here.
Boy's talented. Play the piano, make beats, write everything. The boy's talented.
So, is he still making music?
He makes beats.
Well, it's crazy how hard it is. Now this, you guys are both very talented. Honestly, he's crazy talented. I was just for the yeah. It sounds just as good as anything we listen to, but
You gotta add a budget for the video, all that, you know. Even what I'm charging today was way more to shoot that back then than what I charge today to shoot a video, you know what I mean?
because technology has made it cheaper, obviously.
It was still the digital era though. It's just there's so much more to it. I mean, this was August. I have a varsity jacket on. This is August. I was double sweating, you know what I mean? But yeah, we had a sound. You never heard that sound before or since, you know what I mean?
That's dope. Trilogy Ride Around Town.
Yeah. You know, and there's more for later in the show, you know. But there's a lot of records on there, B. But that's it. What you think?
I think next we got to show you my NFL highlights.
That's what I want. Now we getting somewhere. What teams you play for again?
Seahawks, Colts, Saints, Giants. The Saints I was on for a month.
What was your favorite team to play for?
The Colts, because I was playing my favorite position, 3-4 defensive end.
Playing your favorite position is crazy, but let me ask you something. What was your favorite? Because I know when you go to a place, you got to live in that city. What was your favorite city to live in?
I was playing a position where I was the most natural fit.
Okay.
Still pause.
Yeah, natural fit is crazy. He's trying. We're gonna get. Go ahead.
3-4 defensive. My favorite city. Seattle was a lot of fun as a city. It was fun. Seattle was fun.
Giants wasn't though?
You know, the thing is, when I came back to the Giants, I was back home and I had a girl too, and we were kind of living together. So I didn't really see the city. I didn't go out as much.
How much she charge?
Well, let me do the math real quick.
He's like, yeah, you can't afford it, motherfucker. You can't afford it.
We were always valued buyers.
I pawn this for that.
We were always valued. Light your goddamn cigarette, because I'm waiting for my guest to light his fucking cigarette. I can't even have a smoke. You're good.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Guinness.
I was always a value buyer. You know, if she seemed expensive from the start, I usually stepped away. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I used to. I do that nowadays. Yeah, I step away. They're too expensive for me. You shut your ass up. You don't know me. You never have. Let me start. Yeah, girl, I gotta say something, right?
Sometimes you say some things, and I wonder if you're English or Albanian.
Probably both. Man. You don't know nowadays. Man.
Yeah.
It was fucking everybody back then. That's it.
Yeah. What else?
But yeah, no. So you saying Seahawks was your favorite spot, like even city wise or just team wise?
Honestly, I loved Indy. Indy was a lot of fun. Broad Ripple was a nice little spot. I had a good time there. Me and my buddy DeAndres Mount. Shout out D Mount, who's a cinematographer, film producer. He has his own business. Same thing kind of you do.
Shout out D Mount.
He makes some awesome stuff. Actually, you gotta check him out on Instagram.
Right.
Mount Up Media. Now that's a pause for you. Mount Up Media. So we
shout out to D as a
we
pause.
both had the same mentality, you know. And I'm sure in rap too, you enjoy this because there's different ways to be a rapper and different ways to be a football player. And we were kind of both those hungry, reckless dogs. You give me a lot of pauses. No, that we wanted to get after it. Like we went hard in the weight room. We were getting after in practice, and we had a good time off the field as well. So we had it was a special time there. And I got in third week of the season on the practice squad in September, and my first game was in London. We were playing that overseas game. I was practice squad, so I wasn't playing, but I was traveling with the team. The Colts traveled, all their practice squad players. He came in, I think, a week after me.
And this was on the Colts? Okay. That was the first team you played for?
And we got along very well. And we were both second team.
Who was the first one?
Seahawks. Seahawks drafted me to play offensive
So that was
line.
like your
initiation.
your early years. So your second team was
because the thing is, the Seahawks drafted me to play offensive line. I was a defensive lineman all of college, so I had to convert to playing the opposite side of the ball, which is a completely different way. Defensive line, you're attacking, you're setting the tempo, you're being disruptive.
Right.
Offensive line, you're trying to keep that guy's attack under control, keep him in front of you, secure your gap. Whether it's going to be a lot of pauses. I already know.
Keep him in front of you in that gap.
So it was a lot of adjusting, and I adjusted pretty well. I adjusted well enough to make the active roster all my first season on Seattle Seahawks. I will say it also helped me that I was a 6th round draft pick. Now, as a 6th round draft pick, you're by no means guaranteed to make the roster. 4th, you're still not guaranteed, but they really, because GMs want to look good. If they draft somebody, they want to feel like they're right. They don't want to, So I had that help that I was drafted, but I also did enough good things, I think, in camp that showed promise and, made them want to put me in the active roster, make sure that I don't get signed by someone else. Because if you're on the practice squad, any team in the NFL at any point in time can put you on their active roster. So if the team values you, so to speak, they're not going to put you on the practice squad because you could get poached away by someone else.
Right.
So I was on the active roster all the first year. Second year, my production in training camp wasn't consistent enough, honestly. And offensive line is heavily about consistency. It's really a position where, like, if you just think about watching football, if a left tackle or even a guard gives up 2 sacks in a game,
Pause.
no,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Yeah, that was crazy.
Nobody's gonna say, well, let's see how well they run block. Oh wow, look, they had some
When
great
you
double
fucked up,
teams.
it's over.
You gave up 2 sacks.
It's politics.
No, honestly, it's not even. It's just the nature of the game because it's extremely important to protect the quarterback, and it's also hard for a defensive lineman to get a sack. So if you give up 2,
I'm listening, bro. I'm listening. You're good.
if you give up 2 sacks, so consistency is extremely important.
Right.
Whereas
D-line, crazy. Go ahead. There ain't gonna be no way we're gonna do this, y'all. It's real talk, though. Go ahead. We listening. Go ahead.
D-line, you could be somewhat average 3-4 plays and just do enough. And then if you get a tackle for a loss, make a big play on that 4th, 5th play, really, damn, that guy got that sack. He got that tackle for a loss.
Right.
He's a good player. So I wasn't consistent enough in my second training camp. I didn't make the team. They wanted me to stay on practice squad. And me and my agent decided it was best for me to go do what I'm a natural at, playing defensive line. So we sat home for a couple weeks, with conviction that somebody will sign us, and the Colts did, fortunately. Went to the practice squad there. Deontrez Mount was kind of in a similar position. He had just come off the Titans. He had played some games there in the active roster. I forget why he got released there. It's football. People get released every day. And we were both on the practice squad kind of fighting for our place in the league.
Right.
And I think he made active roster 3 weeks before the season ended, and I made active roster 2 weeks before the season ended. So we both were guys that were kind of coming up together. We had done well enough during the season to stay on practice squad and then to move up to the active roster. And it was a nice little time. And then the new GM, the GM that liked us, so to speak, he got fired. Chuck Pagano-Grigson got fired. New GM came in, Chris Ballard from the Kansas City Chiefs. We weren't his guys. He cut Deontrez Mount, I think, in May. He might have cut D-Mount after me. He cut me in June, which is a bad time to get cut. And then I think D-Mount might have, so yeah, we had a loss.
What is that, like, I know it's your podcast, but I want to ask you a question. I think your story is just as interesting.
This is how my podcast is, if I could imagine anyway.
What
What
is the feeling like to be cut? I mean, at that moment,
Yeah.
you've already been to one team,
Honestly,
right?
the first time
you're
I
on your
got-
second team
Yeah.
now, and you think like, all right, we figuring this shit out. You know what I mean? Now you go to this team and they cut you. This ain't Major League 2, or when, they're going to Farm League and they open up they got the red tag. Like, what does it feel like when you feel like the first team didn't work out. You went to the second team. Like, how does that affect you? Like, how do you feel when you get cut from the second team? At that moment, how did you feel?
You know, and I think it was natural, like defensiveness of like protecting your emotions. It's funny because I remember, my girlfriend at the time when I came back home, I let her know she was like devastated and my family's very sad. I could tell, and I'm kind of like more upbeat. I'm kind of like, no, this is part of the game. This is what happens, and I think that's part of also me protecting myself, my own self. You're definitely disappointed. You're disappointed. You're upset. No, and it's tough. Honestly, the way I would describe it, it's such an intense thing that you kind of shut off from it a little bit, partly.
And make you hate the game, or?
Hate the game. No,
or like you want to keep going? No,
I definitely wanted to keep going every time. I got cut a lot. I got cut plenty of times, But you definitely want to keep going. You automatically, at least how I dealt with it, I automatically moved on to the next thing. Like, talk to my agent. What do we do next? Who are the teams that are interested in us next? What can I, But it is a tough time because you're in limbo land after, and you're waiting to see if somebody will sign you, and you're staying in shape. And it's a tough.
What do you think gave you?
It's a tough thing to deal with.
Because for me, with music,
and then for me with the Colts, it was tough because I was liking playing defensive line, and I was in the position I wanted to be. But honestly, Ballard, the new staff that came in, they changed the defense from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3, which also didn't help. It's not a huge difference. Player balls out in both systems, of course, but it was. I could tell it was coming away because throughout the off season. There
was two there that I let go, but I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead.
Throughout the off season, I could tell the way they were coaching the position was different.
Right.
It was not about get off and attack as much, and I would say it was more. I don't know. It just felt more like about body control and like being on control. And my D line coach at the time, who coached me on the Giants as well, coincidentally, great Gary Emanuel.
Shout out Gary Emanuel.
Yeah, shout out Gary Emanuel. He wanted the best for me. He would try to remind me. He'd be like, Soko, you got to be under control. You got to be, because my game was not necessarily leaning towards under control. I leaned towards being disruptive, moving the line of scrimmage back.
Pause, using your size.
Yes, using my size.
Yeah, that was crazy. Good. But let me ask you this.
What was really disappointing about that cut is that I was in practice squad doing very well with the Colts, and I had some great tape. But nobody sees that because it's in practice. Only the Colts see that. And when I was active roster, you know how it goes. The business side. I was never put on the field.
So you can show what you really do.
And they do that on purpose. Not because they thought that I was the next LeBron James and we got to hide this gem, but
we don't show anything.
Exactly. We don't show anything that we see value in that other people don't know the value of. Because maybe we got to put this guy back in the practice squad next year, so we don't need people to know that he's good, so to speak. Because I really was playing good defensive line at the time. I would say, and then.
And do you get money for that?
Yes.
Like even if they cut you, do you still get money?
You get paid honestly week to week until you get to your second contract. Okay. But the weeks are good, obviously. Like when I was in the NFL,
you don't have to go back to work. You can keep playing and go down to this league or whatever. They'll still pay you, but it's not going to be major league pay.
Well, practice squad you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't get paid for that.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Now I think it's around $250K a year.
Ooh,
which is not bad. At my time it was $120,000, which 10 years ago it was the same thing. If you think about inflation and thing. So $250K a year now. There's 17 weeks in the season. Now it's 18. $250K divided by 18 weeks, you get paid that amount per week. It's a good living.
That's what Derek was telling me. He says like it's a weekly thing. But
it is a weekly thing. The contract says 2 years. Actually, it says 3 years.
Right.
But it's week to week, no guarantee until the second contract. Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you though is, so you got cut the second time, the first time, right? You got cut the second time. You got cut a bunch of times. You went to different. When was it when you said to yourself, like I said to myself about rap, hip hop, it's time to move on. Like this, I know I'm good at this. Everybody tells me I'm good at it. I'm great at it. I just don't have. They don't understand the business side. They don't understand like when it becomes a job, it's no longer a hobby. Like, at what point did you say to yourself, "This is where I need to take the transition from"? Telling myself I'm gonna be an NFL player to now I'm gonna go and live a separate life, and I'm just no longer I love football. I watch it, but I no longer want to play. I don't have that feeling anymore for the game. When did you decide to quit? In other words, is that a good question?
To be honest with you, I love the game so much that it took me about 5 years to slowly do that.
It took me 10 to quit rap, or over 10 to quit rap. Now I'm on this shit. I wonder how long it's going to take me to quit this. The only difference is I made money with this. I made money. I still get, my girl, I get checks and stuff. I still get money. The checks be $104, something like that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy that you said
I'm making money.
So literally it
doing
took you 10 years because, you know, you probably eased your way out of it, but you loved it, then you're like, nah, screw this. And that's kind of how I
Where was this a point where you didn't even want to practice? Like, somebody will send me a beat, I don't even want to write to it. You know what I mean? Like, I start writing, I'm like, oh, this ain't it. Like, when did you feel like, as much as you love football, you didn't want to do it, and you didn't want to play it anymore. You didn't want to practice. You didn't want to.
I didn't get to that.
You still like playing football?
If it made sense, because see, that's the beauty of rap, and it's the beauty of football, and it's so hard to do. It makes it unique. You could go and do a beat right now. You could go, I don't know, rent a studio, whatever. You can go. We could do it right now. So you can rap. I can't play football at that level without joining the the UFL now, so to speak, or going to Canadian.
That's kind of how I'm with music, though.
The logistics, it's gotta be. Yeah,
Even if there's money involved, I'll start writing, and I just can't do. I'm like, I know it's dope, but I just I become uninterested, and I want to go. I don't even feel. I don't have the inspiration to do it anymore.
No,
do you still have that with football, where you're like, I'll go into training right now. All you gotta do is just give me some bread, like. Or is it really like it doesn't, and you don't have the enjoyment for it?
No, that's not. Well, listen, because for me it became, I'm sure for you too a little bit too, it became more about thinking, what is the sacrifice if I just say football no matter what? Because I can go play in football Europe right now. And I can play football. I'm making $2,000 a month.
Overseas, yeah.
And it's enough to live in Europe, and you're playing football. Mm-hmm. So, but I can't do that. You know, so I gotta feel like I'm working either towards the NFL, and if I'm not working towards the NFL, I'd rather be building what's next. And so for about
that's what I mean. Like, what's life after? Like life after hip hop for me is filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's working wherever I got. Like, what moment can you remember where you was like, this is it? I have to go work here. I have to. Maybe the NFL isn't.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There was never a moment that I was clearly like, I don't want to play football. I love the game,
that way.
and I wanted to keep playing. And I there was many times where I said, all right, this season didn't work out in 2020, 2022, 2023. It didn't work. I didn't get back to the NFL.
Right.
I tried. Now I go back to Wall Street, go back to working at in financial advising, but. I never announced my retirement until a year and about 3 or 4 months ago, and that was
when
more
did you
like
retire?
winter of last year, I guess, March of last year.
Oh, so you were playing last year?
So what happened is I played. It's a freaking story. 2019, I retired from the NFL. I didn't retire from the NFL. I was cut by the Giants. I recovered. I tore my ACL in August training camp with the Giants 2018. I made a full recovery by February 2019. As soon as I was fully recovered, that's when they decide they're going to keep you or basically release you. They released me, and I was trying to get back into the NFL. Didn't get signed, so to speak, but I was also pursuing life after as well. And I started working at Merrill Lynch in 2019 in wealth management. 4 months into that job, I got fully licensed, and there was the XFL was coming out, so I went and played in the XFL. Mm-hmm. I didn't make the team. That was very humbling and frustrating, and I felt like I wasn't one of their guys, and they never gave me kind of a full shot. But that's sports; that's how it goes, and it is what it is. And then I went back to Merrill Lynch, and then I was trying to move on, so to speak. And then in 2021, during COVID, there was a league in Indianapolis, the Spring League, where you could go and they covered your hotel, food, everything was covered, but it was free because you weren't getting paid anything. And we were working from home. So I said, damn, we're working from home. I only have to do like 2-3 hours of work right now because it was during, we were doing payroll protection program loans, and we were doing the SBA COVID relief loans that were going out. Mm-hmm. So I was doing, but the work was about 2-3 hours a day. So I was like, I could technically go play in this league and still keep my job, work from home. So I went and played in that league. Basically, I was working in financial advising, in finance, whatever, from 2019 until 2023, and always ready to get back to this league if the chance came.
So you recently left football.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you're not like, shout out to Derek Faulkner, shout out to Sean James and all those guys. Those guys played in the league long ago. Like you kind of just recently left the league.
Correct. 'Cause,
Like we're not talking about over 10 years. We talking about you talking about 2019, we're not even 10 years in, right? Like when's the last time you played on an NFL team?
NFL team was 2018, so 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's not even 10 yet.
Yeah.
You're pretty recent.
But I played in that spring league basically. I played in 2020, 21, 22 I played in the USFL, 2023 I played in the UFL. I was still in the USFL. 2024 I took a break and I did not play. It was actually really hard not to play. There was even a time about a month before the season started where I made some calls and texts, but it was like a half-ass effort. Like I knew I shouldn't be playing. I should build what's next, so to speak. But there would be times where I'd really miss the game and I had to get a good workout in and say, I still got it. And those texts did, but I wasn't really trying to play. I was trying to stay away from it, honestly. And then in 2024, in November, December, the offensive line coach that coached me on the Seahawks, he was getting a job to go be the offensive line coach of the Houston Gamblers in the UFL, the same team I played for 2 years before. And he said, I'm going to be the offensive line coach here. I want you to come play offensive line for me. And it was kind of thing where it was like too hard to turn down because, logistically, life-wise, beyond chasing the football dream again, playing football, I really shouldn't have done it because I had just started a new gig with a really, good firm, and it was a good opportunity. I was 2 months in. It was not a time to disappear for 4 months and go play football, but I couldn't turn it down. I told my boss too, and he's like, "You're making a mistake." He's like, "You can't." I said, "I got to go give this a shot. This is a coach that believed in me, and I know him, so I want to give it another run." And I went and gave it another run 2 years out of the game in 2025, a year and 6 months ago. And a lot of those spring leagues before that, it was always a different injury that kind of came up. It just comes with age. You get banged up a little more. This last time, it was my hernia. And hernia is a really weird injury because you don't feel it intensely, but you just feel it only letting you do about 70, 80% of your full physical ability. So.
And that started like recently?
That started, first week of training camp, and honestly, I think I was kind of like fighting it being a reality. I kind of wanted to ignore it because
I don't want to believe it. Type shit. Yeah.
But I didn't play very well, and I wasn't fully myself physically.
So, what was the favorite team you played for?
That was the end. Kind of. It wasn't a movie finish or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
So out of all that, what's the favorite the favorite team you played for?
Favorite movie I've played has not happened yet.
We got to get you there. Yeah, we got to get you to do that. But what do you think? Like, favorite? Not about that was your favorite. You missed the first team. I'm saying the team. It's like where you felt like, yo, this
team is legit.
Yeah, where you felt good playing with them.
I can't say it's not the University of Buffalo Bulls in college. Those are my boys. I played with them for 4 years, and we worked hard together, and it's crazy, man. And I can't believe it's 15 years ago.
What about the NFL?
So those guys.
You have Giants.
That's who I stayed with the longest, and that's who I feel the most affinity to. And I really look it all back.
Who?
My boys that I played with college football.
I meant NFL.
You were there 4 years. But honestly, but I know you meant that.
My bad.
I know you meant that. It's just I got to give respect to there because I was there for 4 or 5 years, and we worked at it together. And it wasn't as much of a business because we knew nobody was getting cut, so to speak. So it was kind of cool in that way. But in the NFL, it was the Seahawks probably. Pete Carroll. He's one of the best coaches of all time.
That was your first team?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
And seeing how he ran that program and how they all ran that, how that was run, that was a really fine-tuned machine. And the way they practiced and the way they went about their business, watching the Legion of Boom. It was in the back end of their greatness, but watching the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, the way those guys practiced and the unity and bond they had with each other was honestly unique, and you don't see that a lot in the NFL and anywhere where it's a business level. But yeah, they clearly had built something special there together, and you could see it. You know, to me, what was some of the most amazing parts of it, it wasn't even seeing how well, of course, they played together in the field, and of course how dominant they were, and how Earl Thomas could cover, you know, all areas of the field. How Richard Sherman had just outstanding instincts for a cornerback. And anyway, Cam Chancellor, that guy, I blocked him in practice. You can do your pause, and he felt like hitting a brick wall. And I was 290 when I was blocking him, and he was 230. So physically, it shouldn't be that way, but he had great leverage. He knew how to use his body. He was great he was a combination of fast, a great athlete, and strong and athletic. I mean, that he had all of them. That's what you got to have to be the best. So and blocking a guy like that, again, you feel at the moment. You feel at the moment of contact. You know. Yeah. But what I want to say is, all that was not as special and cool to me as being in the locker room with them before the game and seeing how together they were and how much it mattered to them and how much they were like looking out for each other. That brotherhood, you know, and
what was the least favorite team?
That's something you can build everywhere in football, and it's a special thing to build. But you got to go through a lot together, but that's what every team tries. That's what every culture tries to do, is to do what Legion of Boom did, and it was cool to experience that in a game I love so much. That these guys had found success together. They were all
the foundation was really good.
Yes, and they were all nobodies together. Like in a sense, there was a point in time where Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Sherman, Brandon Browner, can't forget him. They were all rookies, 2-year guys in, not established, and those guys together all upped their game. And also, you know, was a big reason why the Seahawks were able to win a Super Bowl and then go to another Super Bowl. But it was good.
What would you say your least favorite run was? What team? Giants?
Least favorite run. I mean, the Giants are really
real quick because I see that. Not to interrupt you. I see that when I'm asking you about what your favorite team to be on was. It's more so the foundation of what the Seahawks had, the way that they operated in the locker room, the way that this. I'm saying, what was the team where you was like, this? I don't know. It's not the Seahawks. This is not like. What was the one where you were like, I could not play it.
You know, I hate to down talk anything, but you know, listen, Seahawks had a culture and an intensity about them. Maybe a little bit when I went to the Colts, I felt the drop off slightly.
You feel accepted,
Yeah, no, not even accepted. I just felt like practice and meetings were more lax, more laid back, and not as intense. And that's what
to win. You didn't feel the winning aspect.
Yeah.
How'd you like the Giants?
The Colts were still figuring that out. They didn't have that, and that's why, you know, we lost our job. And I say we because it is all connected. The GM gets fired, the head coach gets fired, and you're the guy's GM. There's a new GM come in, a new coach come in. They all have their guys. They'll keep 30 to 50% of the roster, but essentially everybody's losing their job / going under a microscope now to see what's the problem with this team. How do we fix it? You know. Yeah. The Giants was good. I mean, the Giants was. I went to the Giants when they were in a rebuild phase too. They had just fired. Who was the guy they fired before Shermer came in? Was it Gilbride? Kevin Gilbride?
Yeah. Wasn't it? It was,
before Shermer came in.
Was she a baseball fan?
Yeah, it's all good.
Is football your favorite sport still? Like, or,
you know what's funny?
You know, like Allen Iverson played football, but he's one of the best basketball players. Like LeBron James, like a lot of guys play. Like
I always had a pretty big affinity.
What's your favorite sport?
I had a pretty big affinity always to baseball, actually.
Baseball.
I like watching it, and I like playing. I actually even played in adult league baseball leagues here and there, and whatever. Yeah,
so did you play football because you were good at it? Somebody told you was, or did that really like you loved it? Like that's what you liked?
Initially, I did get it. No, I mean, I was drawn to it too. I watched my cousin. My cousin played, and he was a very good high school football player, and he played with a tenacious effort and intensity. And honestly, that's kind of what my game was like. And I was drawn to that. I was drawn to the combativeness of it and the intensity and it being a big arena. I was drawn to that, and I used to watch Hard Knocks and all those, highlight videos of NFL's biggest hits religiously as a kid, whether it was to get my mind right for practice or a game, or because I was very drawn to the intensity and the physicality of the game.
Oh yeah, that's how I am with boxing.
Yeah,
but I don't think I'd want to be a boxer.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to get punched in the face like that every day. I don't. But I love the sport more than anything else. I love basketball, but it's like I think I played baseball. I played every sport to see what I was good at, and whatever sport I was best at, I would continue with that, even though it wasn't my favorite. So that's why I was asking, like, was football always your favorite sport? And you was like, I love this sport, I live, I die for it, so I'm gonna be. Or is it like parents told you that, or you were just like, yo, I'm kind of good at this, I need to like.
No, yeah. So
because know, like when you're about to get into that level of NFL, like high school, college area.
Seventh grade, I was probably the worst kid in the team. I wasn't good at it. It was actually very humbling, very frustrating. I did not enjoy it. Eighth grade, I had a sudden
epiphany.
What's the word? Tom Cable used to use a word.
Right.
He used to say he's gonna have a breakthrough, and it's true actually with artists, with fashion. The progression is not linear. You're this, you think you're going nowhere, then boom, you figure something out, kind of thing. I had a breakthrough for sure, 8th grade, and I was all of a sudden one of the better kids in the team, and I was making a lot of plays, and from there, honestly, I was hooked. I think, literally, I used to.
You found your calling.
Yeah, I used to pray every day. I remember I used to always say, God, Jesus Christ, and Holy Spirit. I was raised Catholic. Help me get to the NFL. That was my little prayer. That kind of. So it was my tunnel vision focus. I was blessed to have that. It's nice to. You get a lot. You learn a lot in life, not just about football, but about life when you're blessed to have tunnel vision into one thing. And I pursued that all out. And,
do you think my story is crazy?
Yeah.
I think this podcast is really about. I think, you know what I mean? Your story is, we could pause, bounce back and forth or whatever, but I feel like your story is interesting me. Like, I'm so interested in that. And, we're talking to a professional athlete right now. And you can talk about me like, I've worked with professionals. I've done things, I've been in professional studios. But I can never say that, I won a Grammy. I can never say that I made it to the NBA. But, you got an interesting story just as I do. Probably even more interesting, you know what I mean?
We don't need to quantify it. We all have stories and we all have struggles, and that's, I think, what's the point of film and art, right? In life, we have, business is all about optimizing, how can we get water up the mountain faster so more people can drink clean water, right?
Yeah.
Or how can we get iPhones to more people for cheaper, and those
Make
are all
the cameras good, and yeah.
How can we get better tables? How business is about fixing problems, right? And then business is great and evolving and technology. The beauty of sports, art, film is telling the story of the people who are building that society and kind of what they're going through. Amidst this big machine that's constantly evolving naturally, and it's a bit of a break from reality, right? It doesn't make sense that somebody would sit there every single Sunday and religiously watch their team for 4 hours. They make no money from that. They make no economic benefit from it, but they love it. Or sit and watch a symphony. But that is the beauty to me of sports, film, art. It's not logical progression. It's not productive. But it's a break from the life that we all live, a competitive life where we're trying to make ourselves better and put ourselves in a better position. Anyway, it's a hard thing I tried to describe there, but
no, I like it. I like it, man. I do. I kind of look at like you, Sean James, Derek Faulkner, and me and other rappers, actors that. Bad sense of words didn't make it. If that's what you want
correct.
To say.
And I love that you said that because yes, we didn't make it. I don't feel ashamed.
That's what everybody's going to say. They're going to say,
I don't feel ashamed to say that because here's the thing. I was drafted to the NFL. I'm not being non-thankful. I was the 1% of the 1%. I'm extremely lucky. But the reality is, and I'm not afraid to say it, my dream was. My dream was to play in the NFL, and I kind of did that. I should have dreamed it, but deep down, my dream was to be a 10-year Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, but. When you go for something so damn hard and competitive, the natural reality is extremely hard to get there. So there's a sense of you got to be thankful for what you had, but you also have to accept you didn't get all you wanted. and it's okay. But I mean, anyway,
I think we watch kids. Like I had a friend of mine. He used to box with me. He was so good at boxing, so good at basketball,
and that's
so
the
good
tough
at
thing
football.
about
Got a
these things.
scholarship.
Yeah.
And now, we knew he was gonna. He got a scholarship in
Yeah,
Minnesota. I said, yo, this dude's gonna. I talked to this motherfucker a couple years later. What you doing? Yeah, I'm just finishing up track. Yo, you got a scholarship for football. I thought you was gonna be in the NFL. He's like, you really have no idea how difficult that is, bro. And I've been trying to tell people, and they go, yo. I said, you know how different high school basketball is to college ball? So college to NBA is like people. I think people just see you got there and they're like, it's just like me with music. Yo, why you ain't do it? Yo, come on, bro. You was nice. You was nice. Shut the fuck up. Y'all don't go through the politic part of it, the business of it.
Yeah.
So I always know, like, I'm asking you why you decided to quit. I'm gonna ask Derek why he decided to quit. Why Sean James? Well, Sean James was back in the 90s.
I decided to quit.
You know what I'm trying to say? Shout out to all my brothers too. But I'm saying, it to me is always a mystery. The same way you asked me why I didn't want to do music no more. Why you don't want to play football? It's the same kind of thing. But until we're there, we're in that moment and know what comes with it. Yeah, it's
because
like,
what comes with the pursuit of something so difficult like that, you sacrifice so much and give up so much time, energy, emotional investment.
It's not worth it anymore.
Eventually, you're like, you know what? Let me pour this into something else.
Something else. The guy. Shout out to Dre De Niro, the guy that ran my music label. That's what he did. So, bro, for years, I'm leaving my kids at home, leaving my wife at home, sleeping in hotel rooms with y'all, paying for y'all studio time. We got what we got to go after shit didn't work out for a while. I said, you know what? Let me put this money into my family because I ain't got much time left.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And then now I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting all this into something that I'm making money on. I ain't going to sit there and just keep trying to rap.
The thing about rap and football, it has a limited time span.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a Jay-Z.
No 401k. There's no, you're done.
There's a Jay-Z out there and there's a LeBron James, but that's the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're not those guys, even those guys eventually have to find something else to spend their time on.
Like Jay has. Yeah.
So honestly, literally, and we know this, even if you have $100 million, it's not about money. You need to, you know, it's not like you can get to $100 million, retire at 42 years old, and then live happily ever after. You need to find something to do with yourself, or, you know, having fun gets old, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? So everybody has to go through that rebranding.
Yeah.
And yeah, you decide when it's time to do that.
That's why people need to hear that, because.
And there are things, what I want to get to my bad, there are things that you can do forever, so to speak, like financial advising, which I enjoy it. I enjoy the business and the people I work with. And I enjoy that. Yeah, God willing, I'll be 70 or whatever, and I could still do that and be a great advisor. You can't be 60, 70 and be a great football player. You most likely can't be a great rapper
All
at 60,
things come
70.
to an end, yeah.
So you
Only
find
thing
things
is,
that you can do for longer, and you can build something for longer.
With other genres,
Yeah.
like
at the end of the day,
rock, like was a Grateful Dead. The motherfuckers could be 70. They could still perform. Rap, you can't. Like rap is a young boy sport. It's like
interesting.
boxing.
Yeah.
But think about it. Billy Joel could do a tour right now.
If you're holding the guitar, you're good. You could probably.
But
keep
in
doing
hip hop, no. Once you're like in that 40 club, it's a rap.
Because hip hop is about the grind and making it out and being the young energy, It's hard to sell.
And then
that
they're like, well, how
40.
much you gonna keep talking about the same shit? I was just telling my girl that earlier. I was like, I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know what to talk about.
There was Eminem's one of my favorite rappers, and there was times where some people liked him. I didn't. There was times where he made these albums or songs about being good to his daughter and like recovery or relapse. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like that. I wasn't into that. I was like, you know what? Let me go find.
I want that shit where he's putting his mom in the trunk of the car. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it.
You know,
I get it. It's just like some people don't want to hear Jay-Z talk about his grown-up shit. We want to hear him talk about that hustling shit from Marcy. You know, I get it.
There's a truth to this tea.
I like watching the growth.
There's a truth.
That was crazy. That was nasty work. I like watching the growth. You heard? Pause.
There's a truth to this, and there's a lot of people like, Kristjan, I don't want to see you on your friggin' podcast. You're a football player to me. That's all you'll be forever. Well, that's it, and that's okay.
That's why we should talk about this.
That's what I thought.
That's why I brought that up, because that is interesting, and that's what every normal citizen thinks. Me and her might ride home tonight, and she's like, "Yo, so how many teams he play for? I don't know. When did he quit? I don't know. When did he start? I don't know. I just know that he asked me to help him out. But getting to know your story is way more interesting than my story, really, because you got to that pinnacle. I got there, like, I can say
Brother,
things, yeah, but I
if you
ain't
really,
getting
if
to
you
the NFL. So
no, I
like,
disagree. Honestly, and I'm not because I'm trying to be a nice guy. I disagree entirely, and I tell the people this: if you quantify it and you think about how football, rap, 50% is hard work and 50% is luck. Ballpark. I'll put it right there.
I agree.
And if you think about how hard it is to make it, I would literally say wholeheartedly, we both made it equally. You made a great video that I watched and said this could easily be something I listened to on the radio and I wouldn't think twice about it. Maybe it's not something that I'd be like, damn, I got to download it right now and have it available for tomorrow. And
but you didn't look at it as an amateur.
but I would
yeah.
literally be like, if I heard that on Z100, I would say
You wouldn't know who it was.
I'd be like, that's dope. Put the music up, solid sound, you know. So the point is, you did make it to the NFL, and nobody needs to define the NFL. And I tell athletes this too. I tell athletes, if you played Division I football, you couldn't make it to the NFL, but you were a good football player, you made it. You were the top 1%. There's so many other factors that go into how far you make it. So like, how do you quantify success? Is it $5 million contract, 50? Is it Hall of Fame, Pro Bowler? At the end of the day,
right.
you were the top. There's not a lot of guys that have several solid videos out there that have 50,000 views on YouTube. It's good music.
You got one that's got 1 million.
You got one that's got 1
Yeah,
million?
with Fred the Godson from Harlem. Bronx.
No, there you go,
He
brother.
just passed away
you go,
during COVID. Rest in peace, Fred.
But
yeah.
hey, and I'm gonna to get to my point here, I'm going to throw another wrench in this. There's probably something that happened in your career that was pretty luck-based that led to you being able to do that video, right? So if that luck never happened, are you still the same talented James? Yeah, hell yeah, you
was
are.
like what we talking about
That's the point where I say, don't define so much of your output by
Your input.
how much money you make,
Yeah.
you know, how many views you get, because again, half of it is luck. So
We
you
were talking
get some
about that
breaks,
outside when I
but,
said
you know,
I didn't want to do the commission stuff. I always used to say that's luck. They're like, it's not luck, bro. It's not luck. Like the guys who would hire me as bro, there's guys here making $100,000 for reading a script. I'm reading the same script better than him, and I can't even make 10. It's luck. It's not like you said. It's like, it is talent. Talent has something to do with
And look,
it.
the more you work hard, the more you put yourself.
The more time you put in. Yes.
You give yourself more chance to get lucky.
Facts.
But the point is, and look, everything's a grain of salt. I'm not saying that everybody's you can go out there and say, oh, you know what, I didn't get lucky, so that's why I didn't make anything in my life.
Right.
No. Volume is
Put the work in.
number one.
Yeah.
If you're not putting the work in, you got no chance. But
After you put the work in, then what's the excuse then?
where the chips fall after.
Thank you.
And I tell people this in business too. I say to me, and I mean this, let's pick a random freaking craft. Let's pick a plumber. It could be anything. It could be guys that own restaurants, but let's just say a plumber. To me, a plumber who's making, let's say, about $300,000 a year. Some years he has a great year, he makes $500,000. Some years he does about $200,000. $300,000 is the average. To me, he is just as successful to a degree as a plumber who makes $2 to $3 million. The other plumbers, what's the difference?
Just got better jobs.
He got better jobs, he got better connections. Yes, that's probably a bit of a credit to him as well. But to me, it's like we don't need to quantify success so heavily. Taking care of your family, being able to provide,
Right.
being able to be a reliable plumber that people can count on if they do have a problem.
Having a business for years that people
That's success.
like when
We get so tied up, and Instagram nowadays does this the most. We get so tied up of
Whatever's
if
now.
I'm not making this exact money, or if my business doesn't generate this exact EBITDA, I haven't really made it. That ain't it. And what that does is, it makes you put more pressure than you should on yourself and on your team, and creates less of a good output, so to speak.
and arguments
right.
and me and her was actually my brother. You know, my brother passed away recently. We were at the funeral.
Rest in peace.
Thank you, sir. And we were at the funeral, and then when we left, we went across the street to the diner, and I'm showing her on those little advertisement sheets they put. You know, when you get like a plate at the diner, and they put that little.
yes,
it's like a plate map, but you can
Yes.
see all these numbers. Yo, one of my great uncles. Still, since I've been a kid, he has a plumbing company that advertised Dunnigan Plumbing Company, right? But he don't even own the company no more. But it's just about the way that people might just go to him because he's so known, or whatever.
Yes,
You
yes,
say it's just
correct,
knowing
correct,
about how to
yeah,
like
yes.
really push your craft. It's not
Yes.
about your name or whatever. Your
Yes.
name becomes a part of that craft later on. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I think this podcast. You bring guests on, but you might need to be the one interviewed, man. You got the story, man. You really do.
But I appreciate it. My story's been told enough times, and naturally,
mine a million too.
my
but
man. Yeah, we will, of course.
Yeah.
And naturally, I'm sure I'll tell more. But
that was really good.
it's, it's been a pleasure to have you, brother.
Appreciate you, my brother.
And I think we'll wrap it here. It's been a good show. One, Jabrina, which I know is wrong. Jarina. Jarina. Jordan. Jarina, thank you
JJ,
for all your help.
JJ.
And JJ, for dealing with us.
Yeah.
But
I think that was pretty solid.
no, that was solid. We're going to wrap it here. Thank you for joining us. And you know what this podcast is going to be really about? Just kidding. That's a wrap.